All right. Let's go ahead and get down to business. Let's get some motivation, some meditation, some inspiration. Like I was saying, if it's not one of the three, I don't want it. It's very important that we ask ourselves on a daily basis this question. So let's go ahead and start getting into some of these energies. Let's go ahead and start getting into some of this focus. Let's go ahead and start getting into some of this mentality. So today we're going to go ahead and do a David Goggins motivational quotes. We're going to go ahead and start working on breaking these down. Like I was saying, you can subscribe to my networks, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Periscope. So let's go ahead and, as we start, let's go ahead and break into some of these quotes. I don't stop when I'm tired. I stop when I'm done. Are you putting yourself in the place where you're focusing to that level? Are you giving yourself the ability to give your permission to say when you're done with things? Are you giving yourself the permission to ask yourself the questions? Are you giving yourself the mentality to have that kind of place inside of yourself to where you are in charge of your mind, where you are in charge of your ability, where the ability inside of yourself, you're not surprised, okay, when things work out one way or another. You're not surprised when the challenges that you face off against are there for you because you're so focused. So with the network of mentality, we start to get to that place where we start utilizing it, where we start to use that kind of energy. We start putting ourselves in that kind of mentality to where we manifest it, right? So we have it in front of ourselves in such a way that the energy inside of ourselves starts to flow. The energy starts to flow through, and you start to become one with the universe. You start to become one with the challenges. You start to become one with the ability to overcome the things that are there for you and that are working against you, from the ability to allow them to be a part of your process. Let's go ahead and view some more of these quotes. From the time you take your first breath, you become eligible to die. So in other words, David Goggins' wise advice here is that we must recognize that we're on a journey. Since the first breath, you're on that journey. Since that first page, you're on that place where you are writing your story. Your story can come to an end at any time. Do you know you is the question I have. Do you know you? Have you spent time on yourself? Have you put yourself in the place where you're writing stuff down, where you're putting the mentality in the place where you start to achieve you, where you start to master from within you, where you start to recognize that you are a gift in the universe, that you are a tool, and that your purpose and your process is working for you? Let's go ahead and view number 3. Greatness pulls greatness pulls mediocrity in the mud. So in other words, as you give yourself permission, as you put yourself in that place where you allow yourself to be the person that you are inside, the person that you have going inside, using the universe from that angle, utilizing the energy inside to that level, giving yourself the ability to utilize this universe that the Most High God made for you and I. You have the ability to put that mediocrity in the mud. So that is a great mentality. That talks about getting through the chambers in your mind. That talks about getting to the place where you're utilizing what you do have, because it's never about what you don't have. So let's go ahead and view some more quotes here. The worst thing that can happen to a man is to become civilized. So in other words, if you allow yourself to be everything that everybody else wants you to be, you'll never be yourself. So if you remember that you have simplicity in you, that when you work as a tool from the Most High God in this universe, the universe has the ability to utilize you. It has the ability to work through you. It has the ability to be who you want to be. So you want to become uncommon amongst uncommon people. So what separates you? What puts you in a place that this universe can utilize you as a tool, where you can find the simplicity inside of yourself, where you can recognize that what you have inside is worth it, What you have inside is the ability to face off against that level of focus. And so where are you on the page with you? Where are you facing off against you? Where are you when it comes down to you? The 40% rule. What are you doing to get yourself to the point where you're failing 40%, where you have to kick that into the 110% club, where you're really failing to succeed? You're failing so much that the success is not a surprise. And so, are you seeing yourself there? Are you putting yourself there? Are you giving yourself permission to study you? Are you giving yourself permission to work through your failures? Are you giving yourself your permission to give yourself the ability to no longer be civilized? Mental toughness is a lifestyle. This is talking about the strength seen as a reflection from focus, seen as a reflection from a level inside that becomes a manifestation, seen from the mentality of David Goggins to the place to overcome the challenges, to where the mind is more powerful than the challenges in front of ourselves. Guys, this is very good knowledge. This is very good execution to recognize this. You choose to do something, attack it. Take it on. Master you. Master the one thing that matters. Master the challenges that you face off against. Master the ability to allow yourself to have challenges so that you can overcome them, so that you can make it through them, so that you can have the permission for the universe to work with you, so that it can work through you, so that it can work around you, so that you can become that tool in the universe when the universe says, are you that tool? Let's go ahead and visit more quotes by David Goggins. Never let people who choose the path of least resistance steer you away from your choice path of resistance. In other words, when you recognize this, when you give yourself this, when you put yourself through challenges, recognize that when you come out on the other side, when you give yourself permission for the resistance to become the thing that drives you. One of the biggest quotes by him is attack it. Take it head on. Put it in such a way that the wind starts going in your direction and the drag no longer has a place to stop you. The thing that was great about David Goggins is he had a mentality to reach the chambers in his mind, to focus to the place where it was him versus him, where the ability to face off against those kinds of challenges have that kind of place. Pain unlocks a secret doorway in the mind, one that leads to both peaks, performance, and beauty, silence. Be with yourself. Blessings. Be with the challenges that you face off with. Allow them to be the thing that drives you, gives you the ability to see the process inside you, gives you the ability to make it through the challenges that you go through on a daily basis. Seeds burst from the inside out in a self-destruction ritual of new life. Allow yourself to grow. Allow yourself to focus to the level where you're going to have a foundation, where you're going to have the ability to master you, where the people that come in your life are there for you, where the things that grow from within you are being watered and fed. Allow yourself permission. Only you can master your mind, which is what it takes to live a bold life, filled with accomplishments most people consider beyond their capability. This is talking about focusing to the level where other people won't go. This is talking about getting yourself to the place where you achieve what you are. You achieve your dreams. You achieve your goals. You achieve your manifestation, to where if there isn't a way, you make a way. Be more than motivated. Be more than driven. Become literally obsessed to the point where people were put where people think you're so crazy. And I can't say that because I have to place this on multiple networks. Tell yourself the truth. You've wasted enough time, and that you have other dreams that will take courage to realize, so you don't die as something that you're not. Recognize you can do this, you can achieve this, guys. This guy's mindset is a place of focus. This guy's mindset is in a place where when you say you can't do it, he achieves it. When you say you can't get there, he wants to fight it. He wants that challenge in front of himself. He sees in the world the level of focus being applied, guys. Remember, when you put yourself in that place, when you give yourself that permission, when you give yourself that kind of challenge, the thing that starts to come out of you is there for you. The thing that starts to come out of you is inside you. We're either getting better or we're getting worse. Let your universe turn positive. Let your universe answer that you are the blessing. And so that way, when other people see you, it separates you. Your level of focus achieves that within you. It radiates light on the outside from within. It masters the ability to manifest that on the outside. So let's go ahead and start looking at another way that energy is used. We can put ourselves in a place where we can start to put these writings in front of ourselves, where we can give ourselves time to start to master ourselves, where we can give ourselves time to have permission for ourselves to study ourselves, to utilize this kind of a tool, to utilize this kind of mentality, to utilize these kinds of challenges. If you were willing to suffer, and I mean suffer, your brain and body once connected, the focus in the knowledge. David Goggins, you got it. You nailed it. If you're willing to suffer, and I mean suffer, your brain and your body once connected can do anything. I want to take this a higher level of elevation. I want to bring this up one level. If you can focus to the point where it no longer breaks, if you can focus to the point where you utilize the challenges that you face off against, blessings, blessings, blessings.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, right on, man. I didn't know you were going to let me get in here with you like that, but that's cool. I'll behave myself, and I'll just kind of add to it instead of taking away from what you're talking about, if that's cool.
Sure.
All right, cool, man. But, let me know when I can jump in, and then,
So let me do a gift for you first. I read energy. So I can tell that you have red around you everywhere that you go. You must have red things.
Hold on 1 second. Okay, let me see. I just changed it. I changed my ear thing, and so now can you hear me?
Sure. So I can read energy. I focus so much that I'm a tool in the universe. I've been doing meditation since I was 27, and I'm 34.
All right, congratulations.
So I can tell that you do think at a high level, but I can also tell that the energy that drives you is the ability to stand your ground in your life.
That would make sense, yes. That's true, yes, absolutely.
And so the key is to start to utilize that, so that can open up that heart and get that voice going out to where that depth perception can start firing off. And from doing that, that nervous system will start to open up.
I like that. That's good. That gave me something to look at, and most people don't really give me much to look at, but that really was something to look at.
So the key there is to recognize that the energy flows through you standing your ground. So if you allow yourself to be that, person and to use that thought process, those other energy fields will actually start to open themselves to you.
That's beautiful. I love that, man. That's sweet, bro. Man, that is sweet, bro. That's like, whew, man, that's good stuff there. That's like you're so laser sharp, dude. It's like that's on time, bro. That's really on point, man. If you can't, I mean, that's like accuracy, if you ask me. I mean, that's like right on the money, homie.
So I used to go inside the sauna and I'd stay in there. One day I did 5 hours, walked out off and on for an additional 3 hours. So this level of focus that David Goggins talking about, I've been on the same vibration for so long that I can see the energy in people. All I am is a tool in the universe. You know, there's people that come to sit down with me and do meditation to study themselves. The same thing Bruce Lee said. Bruce Lee was asked a question. He was asked, when people come to you to learn from you, what are they learning from? And his answer was, they ultimately come to me to learn from me how to understand themselves in a combatic form.
Yeah.
So I learned that with energy, I can read the energy. I can teach people how to have self-study. And today we're honoring David Goggins' mind.
Yes. That's annoying, I tell you. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Turn it off. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I got to turn it off. David Goggins. Yeah, I was listening. Go ahead.
So see, the thing about David Goggins is he focused to the point where he elevated past the emotion, past the fears.
Yes, okay. Yeah, that's the right side of the brain instead of the left side.
Well, it's actually connected to the whole being. Because
the central nervous system is connected to the trunk of your brain where you have the knowledge part.
Well, let me go ahead and explain how energy works. Einstein stated that mass and energy are interchangeable sources. So your energy flows in your body in each individual energy field. So for instance, the one that you stand your ground from is the all aspects of your life, not just a singular.
Okay.
So each individual energy field is like a mountain. So the God of the universe made mountains to represent altitude and latitude. Now, inside, as one progresses in each individual area of that energy inside of themselves, the increase to get to the place goes farther and farther in mentality. So what we're talking about is in the first stage, in the infant stage, is fight and flight. Then we hit to a place of slavery and emotion. Then we go a little bit higher, we hit the place of time and organization. If we go a little bit higher than that, we hit the place of focus and knowledge. At the place of focus and knowledge, there's an intersection. This intersection is called discipline. So each of these have a reflection. So as that place inside of yourself, so when you stand your ground and the other people see that around you, it's because that part of yourself has already hit that place of focus in that energy field.
Beautiful.
So each individual energy field is tied to the whole entire energy. So it's the whole entire being that's controlled by each individual energy field. So when one focuses to the point where they're utilizing that form of energy, which is in every human being, is a different combination. Okay?
Right, yeah.
Then what happens is that's how they operate.
Right, right.
So yours is red and yellow. So orange and green are the biggest challenges for you with that combination. Are you familiar with the color combinations of chakras?
I've never, I don't know anything about it. I really don't. You know.
Okay. If you take a heat scanner, you put it in front of yourself. You take this heat scanner, you put it in front of yourself, you're going to see red, green, purple, blue, and then the energy field that runs the nervous system on every single human being is cable colored, like, you know, like white noise. So each individual has that, and that runs the ability for you to allow people to be around you. People that are claustrophobic need to work on that. People that are not able to stand around people much need a lot of that kind of energy. So the combination there goes standing your ground, your human system. I can't go into detail because I have even YouTube on here and I need to be able to put it up later. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
And then you have your thought process, which is the yellow energy field, which is your stomach. From there, you have your heart. The heart has two chambers, the lower chamber and the upper chamber. The lower chamber is the understanding from the heart. The upper chamber is the ability to relationship, so actually voicing yourself. Because above that is the blue energy field, where voicing yourself comes from. So when a person doesn't have a strong ability to voice themselves, working on that blue energy field becomes very important. Then you have the depth perception energy, and then you have the nervous system energy. So all of them go down to focus and knowledge, the whole entire being.
You have to.
So what I see when I read, because I talk about reading stuff, we got to see that when we allow the process of focus to manifest on the outside, it slowly seeps into you. You slowly want to know about yourself. You slowly want to study yourself. You slowly want to get down with yourself. And when you get past the place of fear, the place of emotion, you become a tool in the universe.
Yeah.
And so your universe heats up on the inside and it manifests it on the outside. And so as that manifestation on the outside happens, what happens is that the energy on the outside is not a surprise. So
It's not what?
It's not a surprise. The results,
Okay, yeah.
when they come back, you're not surprised in the results.
Absolutely, but it can be disappointed at the other people that are ignorant of what you're talking about.
Well, the thing that's great is I talk about this stuff for an hour a day, and then those people come back, and when they're in a dark place in their life, they're falling apart, they pick up my videos, and then they go, holy cow, and then they all of a sudden get picked up. So I'm not even worried about it. I work with people.
I wasn't saying you're worried about it. I was just saying, though, I just pointed out that, those situations happen, and you just you came back with bam, like that, That's good stuff, man. I just want to see what you're going to say.
So that's what's going on inside, though. And so that part to deal with the human organ system is between that red energy field and that yellow energy field. Are you understanding what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that's the spot that needs a lot of focus.
Focus, yeah.
But also the heart needs a lot of focus with the yellow-red combination, red dominance.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you talk.
So
I just talk out loud. Go ahead.
When the energy flows, where energy grows, the energy will start to flow. So imagine if you could imagine yet, for instance, there's 7 energy chapters inside of your body. Each individual energy chapter on the top end is focus and knowledge. Now, all of these levels of fight, flight, slavery, emotion, time, organization are like coils. So to get there, you have to pass through this coil, right?
Pretty much.
Well, as you focus into it to master yourself, when you choose that it ain't somebody else going to do it for you, you got this already. This part is good, but this is the part that will help you to work through it as well, to understand how it works. So as you focus into that and you see where you are on that level, okay, that's where you can improve. However, you got to let the mentality shut out all the other stuff. You with me on what I'm saying?
Oh my God, do I ever?
So as the mentality shuts it out, the ability for you to utilize the strengths, because each individual has strengths.
Yeah.
And it's not about your weaknesses. It's about using your strengths to overcome your weaknesses so you could be a whole human being.
That's beautiful. I love that.
So, with a combination of red dominance, yellow means you think a lot. That's why you said I think out loud.
Yeah.
So, recognize that the next thing is to stimulate that orange energy field and that green energy field so you can start voicing yourself, because there's parts where even though you can stand your ground, you don't feel like you can actually get out exactly what's going on in your mind. You feel me?
Oh, I do, bro, man. Because I have to say this though, it's not me that's projecting that. I was projecting something entirely different than what these people are talking or coming at. You know what I mean? They're coming at from a different
That's
angle,
why so many people are starting to seek me out, brother. I was sitting in the darkness doing meditation. These people, they want to be a motivational speaker, but they don't realize that motivation is a reflection of focus, that it takes focus, self-study, and inspiration, which is knowledge and focus connection. And I'm sitting here reading this quote from him, and I'm like, okay, he hit it right on dead point.
Yeah. Me?
No, the David Goggins.
Oh, David Goggins. Oh, yeah.
And this is the quote that he wrote. And I'm going to elevate this quote a little bit higher so you can see what I mean by this. If you're willing to suffer, and I mean suffer, your brain and your body, once connected together, can do anything. Okay, that's his level mindset. I'm going to go ahead and show you where my mindset is. You ready for this?
Shoot it.
If you're willing to focus, and I mean focus, your knowledge, once connected with your discipline, can do anything.
Well, that would be a force that would be irresistible to almost anybody that you come in contact with because of the smooth substance.
So it's as simple as getting down to what it is. Focus is a foundation. When you're not doing the things you want to do, you're breaking your focus. When you put that stuff in front of yourself, when you write it down, when you say I'm going to do it, and you sit down with yourself and you start to study yourself, you start to audit yourself, you start to get down with you, and it ain't about putting a box around you. It's about you versus you.
Yeah, I've been there, done all that, man. I've been at this for since before that actually, 1986, but that whole other shift came into play in 1999, where it really just the whole thing just went to a whole different level, and that level that it went to was a level of perfection. And
well, that is because the knowledge was being accessed. So check this out. I talk for an hour. The first 30 minutes is about focus. Focus shows as a reflection. When people see focus, when they see you in a place where it ain't about them, where it's being written down and it's being processed, and the process on the outside is being manifested from the inside, they see you as two things. They see you first as strong, because they can't do it themselves. Then the second place that they see it is called motivation. So when I'm listening to Eric Thomas, I'm listening to David Goggins, I'm listening to Les Brown, I'm listening to Tony Robbins, I'm not looking at their stories.
No.
I'm looking to see where their mindset is, to where their level of focus is.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I do too. I always peep that too. You know, it's like I want to see that, but they have a way of doing their own thing. So you got to just kind of like, unless you could sit down and talk to them, like I'm talking to you right now, we could get down that way too. But I guess, have you talked to those guys before?
I have. I've reached out to so many people. I had a personal conversation through LinkedIn with Gary Vee. I have been on an Instagram where I literally had him on there in the chat room, and I was in there messaging, and the other person in the chat room acknowledged it. So I've been in multiple places. I had Grant Cardone's team sending me stuff. But you want to know one person who ain't real? That's Grant Cardone. I'll call that guy out 110%. You want a man who was on top of it? That guy ain't on top of it. He ain't got the mentality. He ain't this strong. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard for a lot of people because a lot of people like They want to, like, you know, your true friends, you know. They're excited, you know, for you. They don't want to try to one up you or anything. It's not like that, you know. It's like when you do a good thing, it's just like they're like, yeah, man. You know?
Exactly. Well, that's the reason why I feel like I've been trucking through the snow by myself. But you know who is awesome? Eric Thomas.
Eric Thomas, I'm not sure if I took him or not. Maybe I have. I don't know.
He and I are connected. I'm one of his top fans on his personal Facebook site.
Oh yeah.
So
He's deep.
he's focused. He's a doctor. He has a doctorate.
Oh, nice. Oh well, he brings a lot to the table then.
So it's about that level of mentality. So that's where the point of focus becomes the foundation. Now with the 30-minute mark is where I start talking about the self-study. Now the first part is motivation. The second part is meditation. So once the external becomes a manifestation, it starts to head inwards because the stuff around you starts to manifest itself. So this is where the universe really asks if you're a tool in the universe. It's up to the person to see themselves as that process to get inwards. Now, as you're inwards, it's like being a student inside of you. So as you focus to that point, you're like that student going inside of the classroom of you. That's where you got to shut the door. You got to give yourself that space. You got to recognize that you're on your own path. You're trucking your own journey. You're going at this road. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, right, yeah.
So in that place, that breath, that incoming breath becomes the student. So as that breath comes in, it works like a tool in the universe. And the universe starts to test you. It starts to see what you've got. It starts to see if you can turn positive and negative into positivity. As it gets to that place inside of yourself, what happens inside is that the tools inside of you start working. The ability inside of yourself starts to become. The becoming inside of oneself starts to happen. And so at that place inside of you, at that place in that ability to use the tools that you have, you become a tool in your life. You become a force in the universe called you. And it's up to you to give yourself permission. It's up to you to give yourself permission to start accessing that for yourself, to start getting to that place inside of yourself, to allow yourself permission to truly be who you are on the inside, to truly be who you are facing off against your challenges, to truly be who you are in the universe. That's when you start seeing past your own mindset. That's when the universe starts to see the tests as an ability. That's when the universe starts to utilize you. That's when you go past your opinion. You go to the place of focus where those things move out of the way, like emotion, like fear. You focus past it. You get to the place where you become this kind of tool in the universe. You start to become this kind of manifestation. You start to give yourself permission to be you. So as you head into that place, as you head into those challenges, as you head into that level of reflection, as you give yourself that place inside of you, as you allow yourself that place on a daily basis, because you don't go to bed and not wake up the next day without a mindset. When you strive to go to bed because you're going to wake up, because you're going to get your day going, because you're going to pay yourself first, the universe is going to ask you if you have the tools. The universe is going to ask you if you truly want it. The universe is going to ask you if you can and you do this. And so when the knowledge inside of yourself gets heated up from that level of focus, where your focus is so great, where your focus is so on point, where other people could see it with laser focus, where they could see it with a laser. It's so sharp that the energy inside of you is not a surprise, that it's a result, that their teams need you, where their manifestation needs you, where their mentality needs to be raised to that level, then you recognize that you are setting yourself aside. You recognize that you are with you. You recognize that that knowledge inside of yourself, it opens itself to you. It opens itself to you to get down with you. It opens itself inside of you to be who you are inside. And it's like taking yourself to a mechanic. You know when you take a car to a mechanic, right?
Yep.
If they don't have the right tools, can they fix your car?
No.
If you don't have the right software, can you program a computer?
No.
So recognize that you are a tool in this universe, so the process of this universe can utilize the tools that you have.
That's the universe is expanding, and that's the thing that I guess you would say that's what we're connected to, the expanding part of everything.
Bingo. Now, the part that's a lot of people don't understand is that everything that you do comes first through focus, gets to the place of knowledge. In between focus and knowledge is a classroom. So on this side is focus, on this side is knowledge, and right here, this thing is the classroom. So there's a center breath, and that's called you. So as long as you allow the process to flow through you, the energy starts flowing inside you. So as you allow yourself that, the tool to open up the knowledge which is threaded to the thread of the universe. So if you could imagine, you have a socket, right? And you are this socket. On the end, you have it. And there's a thread in the universe. And the knowledge that's inside of you already from the first seed of every knowledge that became from the process of focus, which was absorption, okay, is asking you if you got what it takes to turn it, right?
Okay.
The universe is going to put that test in front of you. It's going to ask you if you got what it takes. So if you recognize that you are just yet but a tool in the universe, then as you use the tools that you have, the universe will utilize you as that tool, just like a mechanic needs tools.
That's pretty much, yeah. I think it's going to be, I look at it what you're saying, and I also see it in the way that when you, to regulate your nervous system, to be able to regulate it, self-regulate your nervous system, that whole doing that is what is going to entrain other people to follow that energy. There is what the field that you're talking about.
Each individual energy field, and you can watch my practice, motivation, meditation, inspiration, which is in there. If you want to throw anything at me or whatever, it's there for you, okay? I'm just saying, when I go sit down with somebody, the cost of that reading that I just gave you for free, they bring me $25.
They really? People pay you for that?
Because the thing is they want to sit down with me and they want to learn from me.
Oh, okay. That's the part. Yeah, I get that part. Yeah, that's cool. That's a good thing. I haven't done anything like this yet, so it sounds like that's a pretty good thing. I feel guilty, though, but I shouldn't.
Don't worry. It's the universe working. I'm just a tool.
I know. You're right.
I'm just a tool in the universe.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm thinking about maybe trying to step out and do something like that, but I've been just doing it just because I enjoy it so much. It's not like
I have, but here's the thing. When you're a tool, the Most High God can utilize the tools you have so that I can help you.
That's
so
true.
I did 7 of these in one sitting one day. And they asked me, because I was like, I'm just going to give them away. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. It's not. They don't receive it as that. It's like you said. You have to get that thing to open first, and
It ain't about that, brother. I'm here to help you. That's why I said it's there. If you want to do anything, I don't really. What I care about is helping you out. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you, bro. I'm listening to you, though. I'm listening to you. I listen to what people say, man. I do. Believe me, I do. You know, and if it counts for something inside of me, then I'll be able to take that and I'll be able to apply it to my heart and my life. You know.
Now let me ask you a question. When you see yourself and you had to pick yourself up to stand your ground, right?
I've been learning to do that more that way.
Okay, very good.
Just take it. You know, I take.
Let me describe it, though. Let me describe it. If we put you inside a tunnel, this is the point. I want you to see how dead on mentality I am. This is the point where I get ready to start talking about discipline, but I'm getting into it. So let me go ahead and get to the meditation self-study part here. And so anybody who wants to do that can reach out to me. Do you get what I'm saying? They could start their own journey. They could start their own path. I teach meditation online. I do all kinds of stuff. I'm working with multiple people. So it's here. You just have to seek me out. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
So when a person enters, imagine I put you in a tunnel by yourself and it's dark, right?
Yeah.
You're by yourself and it's 2 miles to the light at the end of the tunnel. What is it inside of yourself that you're going to feel once those people drop you off? And you're in pitch dark blackness. Nobody else is going to pick you up. The cavalry's not coming for you. You have to get yourself out of it.
I think to myself, what am I going to do now? That's what I would think. What am I going to do now?
And that, in that place, is when you grow. That is when the knowledge inside becomes sufficient. When you pick yourself up from that place, that's when the energies inside will start working in your favor. That's why I could tell you I could help you. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. I found myself with a wife of 8 years leaving me to go study in Madrid. I found myself driving 12 hours a day, meditating every single day, and pushing the limitation in the sauna, where I was in there one day for 5 hours straight and off and on for an additional 3 hours. Because what was going on inside was greater than the temperature going on around me.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that when you're put in that place, that gives you to the place where the mentality has two choices. I'm going to focus positivity and I'm going to make it out of this tunnel, or I'm going to sit here and cry. Now, when you choose to get up, it's like Steve Harvey said, you're going to hit the parachute is not going to open right away, right? It's not going to open up right away. It's going to take time. You're going to have to hit a couple of rocks. But it won't open unless you allow yourself to get into that tunnel by yourself, to where you recognize that this journey is a lonely path. That when you use the energy inside of yourself right, with a positive, that it doesn't come for good or bad. It comes from the universal path that you are designed to be on, and you being used as a tool from the one most high God.
Well, that's a fact, though, right there, because that's what's happening right now. That's what's been happening for me since 1999. So that's a whole other level that I was speaking on. But the level that we have to communicate.
All right, I guess I'm going to be turning off this one here because we lost out there. And I guess that just dropped off on the Periscope. We lost the guy. It was a little bit of technical difficulties. However, we're going to get back online. We're going to get this thing back on and up and running here. Like I was saying, we're getting into that time where we're starting to talk about the connection between focus and knowledge. We're starting to get to that place where David Goggins was truly talking about, okay, where the mentality is important, where the mentality is the thing that's needed, where the mentality is the ability. And so you're going to recognize there are going to be challenges. There's going to be times that you're going to have to focus past your challenges. There's going to be times when you get down with yourself, It's going to be you versus you. It's going to be you versus the universe. It's going to be you versus your challenges. Hopefully he can go ahead and get back on here. I don't know how we got disconnected there, but it is a blessing. I really enjoy that. So if he's able to watch this now or at a later date, go ahead and reconnect in, get back on there if you have the chance. But let me go ahead and start talking about once you get access to that level, once you start to access that place, once you start to get that kind of mentality going, once you start to get that kind of ability inside of yourself, once you start to give yourself that kind of permission. So this is what happens when you start to do that. You start to see the Michael Phelps. You start to see the Michael Jordans. You start to see the Pelés. You start to see the challenges that we're facing off against. You start to see the manifestation. You start to see the ability. And so as you see it for yourself, as you give yourself that place, as you go through those kinds of challenges, as you put yourself in that place where you center your focus and your knowledge, you can do anything, as David Goggins said here. And today, this is about honoring David Goggins, the mentality of David Goggins, the ability inside of David Goggins, the challenges that he has, the lessons that he's taught here. And this is the lesson that we're talking about. If you're willing to suffer, and I mean suffer, your brain and your body, once connected together, can do anything. And I mean anything. And so what I'm talking about is that place. I'm talking about that level of discipline where anything is possible, where it becomes that level of inspiration, where it becomes that level of mastery, where it becomes that level of focus, where that level inside of yourself is there for you, where that level inside of yourself is that level of manifestation, where that level inside of yourself is a blessing, where that level is giving you the permission to be you. It's giving you the permission to face off against you. It's giving you the permission to make it through the challenges that you go through on a daily basis. Oh, blessings most high, in such a way that the glory comes to the earth and you are a part of that path. You are a part of that journey. You are a blessing in this universe once you realize that focus is such a gift. Focus is such an ability. Focus is you versus you and you coming out on top. It's you versus you, and getting back online and communicating with people is a blessing. And it dropped the line. So what I'm talking about is called discipline. It's this thing, if we can describe it for a minute, if we can give it its place, if we can give it our ability to see the reflection, if we can give it permission, then as David Goggins said, if you're willing to suffer, and I mean suffer, once your brain and your body are connected, you can do anything. And when other people see your knowledge and focus is sufficient, your ability to reach that place is achieved. When your ability inside of yourself is reaching that level of mastery, where its ability to welcome and to come back online if you want to. But it dropped the line there, and so what happened is I tried to bring it back up. And so I had a little bit of technical difficulty, but you are welcome to call back in. So once the mind reaches that level where the reflection radiates outwards from within oneself, once it truly achieves that place, the universe has the ability to use your knowledge and your focus. And David Goggins sees this. He sees this when he's on his runs. He sees that overcoming this is the most important piece. He sees that reaching that level is what it's about. That's what Michael Phelps understood. He was known to swim 2 to 3 times the workouts that the Olympic athletes swam. So when the results came back, that he was not surprised. When the results came back, it was a manifestation. It was such a domination, so that such a place that the ability inside of oneself was there, that the ability to give oneself that kind of permission is such a level of mentality. I'm not surprised in the results. I'm not surprised in the challenges. I'm not surprised in the ability to utilize what I've been working on for years. I've been grinding at this thing in the darkness, because when one's willing to go to the darkness, that's when they shine in the light. When you're willing to face off against what's going on inside of you so that you can come out on top, then what happens is you got this, you can achieve this, you can become this, you can believe in the one thing that matters the most. And that thing, my friends, that's you. You matter the most. When you take something on and you achieve it. When I used to work for Chrysler, I have worked for telesales, I have done car sales, I have driven 14,000 customers for Uber before I decided to start doing this stuff on my own. I see this time as an expansion. I see this as an ability. I see those CEOs coming to me. I see those people at home who need this. I see those husbands whose wives just left them. I see those people who are saying to themselves, I might as well try something. I might as well take their own path. I see the potential inside of all of you. I see it to a level where you can achieve it, where you can seek me out after that, where you can see the mentality is inside. As you said here, framework, it is right here. The mentality to achieve a level of success is the results on the outside. So when people see those results, I'm not going to be surprised. I recognize that each of you guys can do this, but you have to want it to the level that David Goggins is talking about. If you're willing to suffer, and I mean suffer, your brain and your body, once connected, can do anything. In other words, if you want to achieve a high level of reflection, my friends, achieve discipline. If you want to achieve a high level of knowledge and focus, utilize your brain and your focus to the point where what comes outwards is you. Then the universe can use that. Then the universe can say yes. Then the universe can say, do you want this? Can you do this? Can you achieve this? Can you accept this? And when you manifest that, when you get there with you, don't be surprised in the results. But it's going to take your whole being. It's going to take your whole ability. It's going to take you accepting that you are a process, a tool in the universe, so that the universe can utilize the tool that is you. That is my quote. I am a tool in the universe, and I recognize that when I allow the universe to use this tool, the process has the ability for the universe to need this tool. Are you allowing yourself, my friends, to be that, to achieve that, to become that in the universe? Are you allowing the tool of you to be the process? Are you allowing yourself the ability for the universe to need to use you? Are you allowing yourself to be that tool? As the universe uses multiple tools, it can use your discipline to reach the place of inspiration. And when the universe uses you, the wind moves in your direction. The universe bends around you. The universe bends with you. The things, the places, the manifestation is not a surprise at that point. Because when you have you, when you are with you, when you believe in you, when you know you, then the able mentality has the ability to connect your body and your mind to the point where you can achieve anything. And I'm not surprised that those CEOs will start seeking me out. I'm not surprised that the mothers at home who no longer have the right companion, or the fathers at home, or the people who are saying to themselves, can I get past let it go? Can I get past forgive? Can I get to the place where I can accept, where I can achieve, where I can excel, where the mentality can be put in a place where Newton says, for each action, there's an equal and opposite. For each ability, there's the ability to have the able mentality to achieve a level of focus where you are a blessing in this universe. As I end this session, I want to give appreciation to the person that I just spoke to, and to the mentality of David Goggins, to the mentality inside of ourselves, to each of you, for that tool that you are inside, for the universe to have the ability for you to start to see that process, for you to start to dominate your day, to dominate your walk, to dominate your lives. I want to leave you with a blessing in this universe that you can start to recognize this process for yourselves. And I want to say to you all, blessings, 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 and namaste.